Well, you too, it's your Uncle Darius. Oh, and thank you on my niece and nephew for watching. You guys could be anywhere else in the world, but you're hearing me, and I really appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe to your uncle, leave a like, if you guys have any recommendation, leave in the comment section, I'll get to it as soon as possible. We're about to do right now, about to predict the NFL playoff bracket. But before I begin, I just want to do a little bit of bragging rights. My Seahawks, we're number one in the NFC West, and we got the first round bye, baby. Honestly, and I was talking to my homegirl, Inona, about this. I told her in the beginning, no. I told her after the Super Bowl when the Eagles won, I told her that the Seahawks, we're going back to the playoffs, and we're going to win the division. But one thing I did not predict us having a first round bye. You know what I'm saying? Being number one and having a first round bye. But hey, I'm happy with the results. And man, it just put a smile on my face, man. Cause man, when the last time the Seahawks has got a number one pick? No, not number one pick. Number one first round bye. Well, it was 2015? Yeah, no, 2014. Cause I like to count the 2014, 2015. I like to count the season. You get what I'm saying? Like, except for this year, like it's 2025. Even though the playoffs start in 2020, you gotta get what I'm saying. But with that being said, I should not brag too much. I should be more cautious because each and every single one of these teams have a great chance of going all the way. In my opinion. Okay, I should receive a text. Okay. Every single one of these guys have a great chance of making it all the way. You know what I'm saying? Don't count each and every single one of them out because, this season has been full of surprise. You know what I'm saying? The Chiefs did not make it to the playoffs. And I'm happy. Sorry, Uncle Kenny, but I'm just happy. But now it's just, I feel like it's anybody's game. So with that being said, nothing blah, blah, blah. Let me do my prediction right now. Okay, so the Seahawks and the Broncos. The Broncos are another team that surprised me this year. I did not expect them to go 14-3. Wow. Ain't that funny? So, let me see. Okay, so both the Seahawks and the Broncos, they got the first round bye, and whoever got the lower seed, they're going to play against them in the division round. So let's start with the wild card. Okay, let's start with the AFC. Buffalo Bills versus Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars, that's really surprising. Limit crap out of me. I try not to curse too much in this video. You know what I'm saying? I promised my mom I wasn't going to curse. But yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Bills. The Bills, Josh Allen has always come through. As a matter of fact, Josh Allen, I had him in my fantasy and he came through for me. I still lost a fantasy though because the other players didn't come for me. But what can you do? But yeah, Josh Allen. But with that being said, I feel like Jaguars had a better defense. And I feel like Trevor Lawrence, he finally finding his groove in the NFL. It took him a while, but I feel like he finally find his groove. So I got the Jaguars beating the Bills. Will be a good score. I say 24-20. Okay. The Chargers versus the Patriots. Those who know me know that I can't stand the Patriots, especially when Tom Brady played. My buddy Sam, he's a huge Patriots fan, and he just talks so much crap, especially when the Seahawks blew it at the 1 yard line. So even to this day, 11 years later, he's still talking all that crap. But I want the Chargers to win, but I feel like the Patriots, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say it's a blowout. Let's say 35-17. Okay, yeah, 35-17. I got the Patriots winning, and then the Jaguars. Now this one is going to be a little tougher. Because what? The Texans versus the Steelers. I still can't stand the Steelers to this day. That Super Bowl 40 still pisses me off. But that's 20 years ago. Okay? I feel like the Texans, they could beat the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this game is going to be a little closer than we think. So, I feel like this game is going to be by a field goal, 27-24, with the Texans winning. So with the next round, it's going to be the Texans versus the Broncos. Going to be the Jaguars versus the Patriots. All right? Now let's go to the NFC West. No, not NFC side. Okay, the Rams versus the Panthers. You know what? I'm not going to count the Panthers out. I know a lot of people say, the Panthers, you know, say they got one of the worst records. They got a losing record. So what? So the Seahawks had to lose a record back in 2010, and guess what? We still beat the reigning champion, the Saints. So you know what? I'm gonna get into the Panthers. I feel like the Rams, they're not going to lay down so easily though. But I feel like the Panthers, since they have home field advantage, they should be able to beat the Rams 21 to 17. There we go, 21-17. Now this one is Bears for the punk ass Packers. This game is gonna be close because this is a division game. And see, part of me want the Bears to win. I really want the Bears to win, but the Packers, I don't know what it is. They always find a way to win. You get what I'm saying? But with that being said, I feel like this gonna be another close game. It's gonna be by a field goal. Let me see. What would be the good score? Maybe 24-21. No. I feel like it's gonna be a little higher. 27-24 with the Bears winning. I got the Bears beating the Packers barely. By the field goal. Now this one, the Eagles versus the 49ers. You know, I say the 49ers have been struggling, but one thing about 49ers is that their defense is they struggle, you know, in the past few games. Even against us, they struggle with the defense, and they couldn't stop us. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the Eagles, Eagles, they're not the same Eagles as they were last year, but I feel like they still have a good chance of winning. So you know what? I'm going to say the Eagles beating the 49ers by like 14 points, like 28-14. I believe, 28-14. So I think that's good. So my Seahawks is gonna play against the Panthers and the Bears versus the Eagles. Okay, so let's go back to the AFC side. So who I have the Broncos versus the Texans. I feel like the Broncos is going to beat the Texans by a good size points. Like I don't think it's gonna be a close game, but I also don't think it's gonna be a blowout either. I think it's gonna be what would be a good score? Like 24-10? Yeah, 24-10. I think that'll be the final score. The Broncos and the Texans 24-10. Now, the Jaguars versus the Patriots. As much as I want the Jaguars to win, I really want the Jaguars to win. The only reason why I want the Jaguars to win is because that's my brother team, and I want them to go all the way. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say it. The Jaguars are going to beat the Patriots. It's going to be a super close game. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not realistic and things like that. But you know what? I've been surprised before. So the Jaguars are going to beat the Patriots in a surprise win. It's actually going to be a close game. It's going to be, I actually predict it might go to an overtime, actually. With the Jaguars winning by a field goal. No, by a touchdown. What would be a good score? 27-20. There we go, 27-20. So it's going to be the Broncos versus the Jaguars. All right. Now it's going to be the Seahawks versus the Panthers and the Bears versus the Eagles. But let's go to my boys, the Seahawks and the Panthers. The last time we meet, we won 27-10. I feel like the Panthers they're going to try their hardest, but I feel like our defense is just too good. So what would be a good score? Like 30-13, I believe. This my boys winning. Okay, yes, my boys are gonna win 30-13 against the Panthers. Now the Bears versus the Eagles. Like I said, if the Bears didn't have a home field advantage in this game, I would have said the Eagles. But I feel like the Bears, I say they had the home field advantage, and you know what? That quarterback he gonna do everything he can to win. I feel like their defense is improving. But the Eagles, they still, like I said, they're not the same team, but they're still a good team. So I think this is going to be a super close game. Maybe 30-27 with the Bears winning by a field goal. All right. So the Broncos versus the Jaguars. You know what? My dream is going to be the Jaguars going all the way to the Super Bowl, but if we're going to be realistic, I think the Broncos are gonna beat the Jaguars. Though, like I said, you never know what's gonna happen. I'll say this: whoever, obviously, whoever gonna go win between the Jaguars and the Broncos, they're going to the Super Bowl. But I feel like the Broncos, you know what I'm saying, they gonna beat them not by a blowout, but not by a close game, like by like a touchdown and a field goal, like 10 points. So what would that be? 27-17. And like I say, I want the Jaguars to go make it to the Super Bowl, but I think the Broncos is going to make it to the Super Bowl. And then what else? Okay, the Seahawks versus the Bears. I feel like even though the Bears had a good quarterback, I feel like our defense is too good for the Bears. And since we're in the home field advantage, I feel like we're going to win in probably a 2-touchdown game, a 28-14, or maybe 28, or maybe even closer, 28-24. But I know my Seahawks are going to win. So now it's going to be the Seahawks versus the Broncos. What that? The Super Bowl 30? No. Super Bowl 38 rematch. I feel like we're not going to blow out the Broncos like we did the last time. However, I feel like the Seahawks is still going to beat the Broncos. Ain't gonna be a really good game too. I won't say high scoring, but it's like I feel like we're gonna win 27-21. I feel like we're gonna win. And I'm not just saying that because Seahawks is my boys. You know what I'm saying? You can check my previous prediction video when I had the Seahawks not making it to the Super Bowl. But this time I am confident. I'm highly confident that the Seahawks is going to make it, or it's going to win the Super Bowl. I really do. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, Sam Darnold are like, when he's good, he's really good. The issue is he hold the ball too long. And the other team, they see that as a weakness. And if their defense are as good as the Seahawks, they had a chance to knock us out. But I just don't see that. Did somebody say that something? I might have a ghost in here. But I feel like my Seahawks, we had a much better chance to win because our defense is really that good. You know what I'm saying? But you know what they say, any given Sunday. That's why I feel like any one of these teams, with exception of the Steelers. It's kind of funny. The Seahawks, the Broncos, and the Steelers, all of what? Russell Wilson's former teams are in the playoffs. And look at Russell Wilson. You know what I'm saying? He the jail of his former self. I partly blame Sierra for that. But like I said, I feel like the Seahawks, we have a great chance of going all the way. Not only going all the way, but we can win it all. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm not trying to be too biased, and I also try not to get my hopes up too much because it, like Nene Kravitz said, it ain't over till it's over. You get what I'm saying? So I still feel like, the Bears could go all the way, the Rams could go all the way, the Eagles maybe even the 49ers. You know what? I feel like on the AFC side, the Patriots, the Jaguars, maybe the Bills. Texas, maybe. Sorry, Xavier. I know you're my boy and everything. I know that's your team, but maybe. But you never know. But as of right now, my prediction, the Seahawks versus the Broncos, with the Seahawks winning. But hey, we'll see what happens. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Where you got prediction, your NFL prediction, NFL playoff prediction? Let me know comment down below. We would like to subscribe to your uncle. You can check my preview down here. Peace, love, and rock and roll.